is Daphne Taylor, a reporter with the South Florida Times newspaper, and we're with a phenomenal woman today in honor of Women's History Month. We're coming to you via video, and also you can read about this awesome lady in the South Florida Times coming up this week. But for starters, we're going to share with you something so exciting that she is doing, and that she is worthy of being recognized not just by the South Florida Times for Women's History Month, but also nationwide. My guest today is McNeill. As I said, a phenomenal woman. She is making history, not only in South Florida, but all across the nation. She's a business magnate, a business tycoon, and she is the owner of MCO Construction and Services Incorporated and numerous other business enterprises, which she's going to tell you about. However, let me tell you something you may not know about her. She is the first African-American female contractor working on the level of billion-dollar projects in the state of Florida. The first African-American woman contractor in the state of Florida. Awesome, working on that level. Now that's huge. As our president would say, that's huge. That's huge. Okay. Now, Ms. McNeill, thank you for being with us.
A pleasure.
We appreciate that. You are being honored in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., and you are among the honorees for the 6th annual Women Who Move the Nation Award. Now, that is quite appropriate for you, Women Who Move the Nation. Tell us about this award that you're being bestowed upon.
Well, again, my name is McNeill, and I am the master builder, helping to build stronger and better lives. And as a professional speaker, coach, and also contractor, the award is something that is just phenomenal. Every year, the COPTO organization out of Washington, D.C. selects a few women who have demonstrated from their activities and involvement that they're moving the nation in their industry. And thankfully, I have been chosen this year, and so it is such an honor.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, I looked at the list of women, and these women hail from all across the country.
Correct.
Now, this is huge because you all are going to D.C. for this honor, but you're coming from all aspects of the business world.
Absolutely.
All the ladies that are being honored are business tycoons and have done wonderful things in their lives and in their own communities. So congratulations on that. Now, one of the things about you is not only have you been successful in a male-dominated industry, but also you now help others to reach their goals, financial and otherwise. You have been able to succeed in a way that truly epitomizes what we want, I think what God would want us to do, reach back and help others. So you are now doing that. Tell us about that.
Well, what I do is I help executive, entrepreneurial, and professional women and men, but to get greater clarity in their highest income producing areas of their life and their business. And I do that by coaching, speaking, but also through many of the organizations that I'm involved in. And a lot of this came out of the book, Think and Grow Rich, which we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about that now because something happened December 31st, 9 p.m., 1979. What happened that night?
Well, actually, what happened is that it was a New Year's Eve, and I decided to stay home and celebrate the New Year's by reading this book. My husband and friends decided to go out and celebrate. And at that point in my life, I was very, very young, actually under 25, and I decided to read the book. But what actually happened is that the book actually read me. And the author asked me 4 questions that have been driving my life since that night. And those 4 questions were, how much money do you want? What are you going to do in return for the money? By what date, and what is your plan of action? And that night I had a wake-up call because I could not answer that question for how I would raise or save, if you would, only $1,000 a year. And at that point in my life, you know, we were climbing that ladder of success. when we're young, we do what our parents tell us. We go to school, get a very good education, and we get a good job, good corporate job. And so for me that night, the realization hit me, why was I so deeply in debt if I did all the quote-unquote right things?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people find themselves in that situation, me included. You think you're doing the right thing, but the wheels are just spinning round and round in circles.
And we're getting older and older and older.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Now, I have the book. This is the book,
Yes.
Think and Grow Rich. After our conversation, I went out and bought it. I was a good student. I went out and bought this, and I'm going to encourage others to do the same, because this book changed the trajectory of your life.
Absolutely. And the lives of many people
Yes.
who have been impacted by my life.
Absolutely, which we're going to talk about. Now, how did you end up inspiring so many other people? Because you're not just a CEO and owner of your own business, but you've spawned off into other areas, which you have nonprofit organizations and you have for-profit organizations, and all of them are helping other people. And you mentioned you've groomed many other multimillionaires, you've groomed people with their PhD, entrepreneurs. Tell us about that.
Well, I think that it's very important that we all understand that you must have a dream to have a dream come true. Let me repeat that. You must have a dream to have a dream come true. And that was the start for me. And my dream at the time in 1979 was to save $1,000, but I was so deeply in debt I had to find a way out. So by continuing to read the book Think and Grow Rich, espoused by Napoleon Hill, it helped me to clarify my thinking and develop a plan of action. Now, I went through a lot of plans because, of course, they hadn't worked up to that point, and until I began to be held accountable by forming a mastermind group of other individuals of like mind and like spirit, we set our goals, we met every week, and we discussed how we were going to proceed in the achievement of our life's goals, and that included our business and our family. And over time, our one mastermind group ended up forming other mastermind groups, and then we ended up forming an organization called the International Mastermind Association, which, of course, by me becoming a contractor as a part of that process, we also looked at how do you create goals in 10 different areas of your life. So if you can, I'll share those goals.
Sure.
So we set goals in the spiritual life, family life, financial, health, education, business or career, personal development, civic creativity, and we also look at creating goals in the health and wellness areas. So many people, whether you're professional, personal development, we create those goals for 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And for my personal life, I set a goal for what will my life look like 40 years into the future.
Wow.
And I start that entire process by writing my obituary and really actually working it backwards by letting that obituary then become an affirmation for living. And so that's the process that we've used for the last 40 years.
Now that is awesome. You wrote your obituary
Yes.
and then worked it backwards.
Exactly.
Now that's amazing. Now, your children, your daughter and your grandson have also done wonderful things. Tell us about the book you wrote in honor of your daughter.
Well, first, I have two daughters.
Okay.
One, Danielle McNeill, she's a professional also, and she has her own business called MCO Consulting and MCO Consulting Management. And what she does is she helps small businesses become bondable. My youngest daughter and my grandson both read the book as second graders. Think and Grow Rich, they read as second graders. And from that, they set goals. I'll speak to the second daughter. She set a goal at 8 years old in 4 different areas of her life. She wanted to become a straight A student, her education goal. She wanted to make a lot of money, and she wanted to learn to play golf, and she wanted to start her own business. And by the time she was 18, she was invited to speak as a keynote speaker for the National Organization for Financial Planners for the World, because she had granted herself as the baby billionaire, learning through an organization called Better Investing, learning how to analyze stocks and how to invest. So
I'm drained just hearing that. That's amazing.
So I had
that
a
is
lot
awesome.
I had a lot of parents that would ask me, what do you do? How do you do that? And so I wrote a book called How to Raise a Baby Billionaire. And basically we just talked about the different 10 areas of the life and different things that we can do with our children, because oftentimes we don't think about very little things. We all are very busy, but little things that we can do. I'll talk about my grandson. When he read the book, was reading the book from 2nd grade, he called me one day and he said, "Grandma, I want to read to you my bestest poem in the whole wide world." I said, "Malachi." His name is Malachi Daniel Monroe. And I said, "Malachi, you're only 7, you've only been here 7 years. So he said, I know, but let me read this to you." And the poem he read me was entitled, "I Bargained with Life for a Penny." And for many of you that have read the book, it goes on to say, "I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. And then at evening, when I counted my scanty store," he went on to recite that poem, and that's been now 10 years ago. And last week, he won the National Junior Achievement Speech Competition for the 2nd year. But from that reading, we focused on one word a day, every day for about 5 minutes. He reads the word from word a day, he spells it, he recites it in a sentence, and then we pray, and it doesn't take 5 minutes. My point is this: we make the time for those things that are important to us. Mm-hmm. Family, for many of us, we work hard and we claim we work hard for our family. But if that is really true, do we have a family mission statement where we are determining what those goals are, and as a family we participate in the process of that, such as with children, one word a day.
One word a day. Now let me tell you how great minds think alike. I had the pleasure of working for about 6 years for Richard Williams, Venus and Serena Williams' father, and that is what he did. One word a day.
Yes.
One word a day.
One word a day.
And then even us as adults, his staff, we had to read the dictionary and choose one word a day.
Absolutely.
Great minds really do think alike. Absolutely. Well, I want to congratulate you again on your honor in Washington, D.C. Now, those of you who are viewing this, you not only can hear her story through this videotape, but also you can read her story in the South Florida Times throughout the entire week. You'll be able to read a lot more about this awesome lady who has done phenomenal things in her life, and we just want to say thank you to her. But before we close out, I'd like for her to share with you how you can perhaps pick up on some of her tips, also perhaps her business ventures. What is a good way to reach you if there are people out there who want to know how they can connect with you, because you're doing some amazing things.
Thank you. Well, a number of different ways. I'm also the founder of the National Association of Black Women in Construction. And so if anyone is interested in construction, it doesn't matter, white, black, Hispanic, male, female, you can go to our website. It is www.nabwic.org. That's nabwic.org. Stands for the National Association of Black Women in Construction. Or you can Google that. I'm also the president of MCO Construction, which you can find us on mcoconstruction.net online. My focus, my passion is speaking to share. And so with that, I host once a year right here in Palm Beach County at the illustrious Marriott Senior Island. Once a year I do a retreat for only 10 women on the island to help women get greater clarity in their highest income producing areas of their life and their business. And you can find that information on my website at annmcneill.com. That's ANNMCNEILL.com. And of course I live on text, and my cell number, which I don't have a problem with people calling me, and my number is 786-546-0184, and that number again is 786-546-0184. And of course, Google is our friend.
Yes,
so if
absolutely.
You can't remember my name, just Google Black Women in Construction. I come up on the first page, or Ann McNeill.
Absolutely
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It
my
has
pleasure.
truly been a pleasure. And as I told her, now that I've met this amazing woman, she's not going to be able to get rid of me because I'm ready to have that billionaire mindset myself. And I've got my copy of the book already, and I'm ready to go to work. So thank you so much. Congratulations again. You're so deserving of the honor. And we just want to thank you here at the South Florida Times for taking the time to be with us and share your story with us and with the world, because we all know that online it's worldwide. So we expect many people to view this all across this great nation. Thank you so much, and be blessed, continually blessed. Thank you.
And thank you.
Great.
The weather has